All right. Let's go ahead and officially start, everyone. It is 9 o'clock. That time of the day where we just sip our coffee and get ready for the morning quickie. Here with you for about an hour, maybe more than a half, while I am playing Diablo II Resurrected with the Reimagined mod. And it's really hard for me just to stick to 1 hour with Diablo 2. Whoa, my gain for my mic is way big. Hold on 1 second. Whoa. 6.3. Okay, that looks better. Okay. Holy crap, I was getting the red for there. Decided to up the gain to see if it was doing if it would work better for my VODs. I just wanted to get to the very tippy top of the yellow there, but it was hitting the red, so don't want to do that. But no, like I was saying, it's really hard for me to hit 1 hour or a little bit less, or even a little bit more for Diablo 2. It's something that you can just play forever, and especially since I'm playing the Warlock build, which I've never done before. Yeah, so we're gonna try and keep it to an hour. I don't know how successful I will be at that, but hopefully, here's that I'm able to keep myself in control with this game, huh? I think this would be a perfect game for a quick play because it's something that you can just farm, level up, farm, and not too many people play it for the story. So you just kind of go on there and get started. And like I said before, I'm playing Warlock. It's the first time I'm playing Warlock, and I'm excited to see what I can do with the class. Okay, so let's go ahead and get it started here real quick. Not much to say. There's something I will be saying about continuing the Final Fantasy VII Remake discussion from last VOD when I was playing Vampire Survivors, but it would be a hell of a lot shorter than about like the half-hour, 40-minute rant that I went on, but it is something that I should probably discuss. But first, let me go ahead and get D2R started. Get in there. Now, I have to say, I am a little worried about this one because Diablo 2 Resurrected is kind of heavy when it comes to the GPU department. Kind of like power. Whoa! No, what happened? Hold on. Wait, why did it do that? There we go. What in the hell? That was insane. Okay, so I don't know what that one is about, but yeah, no, it took over my entire screen. Real quick, before we get started, let me check real quick on my Twitch capture and see if it's still in full screen mode, because that was crazy. I mean, it seems like it's doing fine. There you go. Yeah, okay. No, we're good. We're good. Holy crap. So, we fixed the potential disaster, but like I was saying, no, you say no. Oh, okay. I'm a little worried because last time I played such a heavy game, I played Palworld, and Palworld freaking it caused OBS to crash, and when OBS crashed because the encoder just maximized my GPU, it basically made the computer unusable. I had to restart, like a hard restart. So this, I'm a little worried, and people said that, hey, you shouldn't have live preview in OBS because it is kind of a resource hog, but I made it so OBS is highest priority in terms of GPU and CPU usage, so I'm hoping that will continue. But running this on medium settings because I'm a little worried, because eventually I want the 2-computer setup that will be able to hopefully take care of that kind of encoding versus gaming issue. But right now we're running off, it is a pretty beastly computer, a little bit older, but pretty beastly. It was made to last, but still we got to be very careful. Okay, so before we get started on like the Final Fantasy VII rant to continue, we're going to go ahead and start our character. So I like to talk about, food in the morning, for breakfast. So right now, I'm gonna call him what I had for breakfast today is parfait. So yeah, no, I had my parents actually brought me a parfait made with almond milk. The yogurt was apparently made with almond milk, and the granola was actually sugar free. The only really thing that sugared in there was fruit. But yeah, so it was really tasty. It hit the spot for sugar. Oh yeah, no, the preview, it's kind of lagging, so we're going to disable the preview in OBS and hope for the best. So why not? We'll continue food discussion after talk about FF7R. So I would like to make mention that yes, I did talk about FF7R in the my previous Vampire Survivors video, and we talked about a couple of the Twitter posts discussing that discussed Yoshi P talking about the number of videos number of games we can expect if they decide to remake like FF7, or FF8, FF9, or FF6, and we discussed the possible endings that Hamaguchi was talking about in Yamaguchi was talking about for the final FF7 entry, the remake, the entry. So there was another article that came about where it was talking about Kitase talking about how he was slightly embarrassed about the depictions of the various social and cultural issues, especially about corporate greed, mental illness, and various other things that they covered in the original FF7. And I have to say, from reading from it, that it's a little troubling. It wouldn't be as troubling if they weren't in the middle of a remake of like one of the biggest games that Square Enix ever made, or rather it was Squaresoft at the time, and probably one of the ones that put Square on the map. See, I'm following a build. Is it Miasma? Yeah, we're doing Miasma Bolt. And the reason why is because when a creator gets embarrassed, then they'll make changes that probably should not have been made. And we've seen that in the remake. There is some questionable changes that kind of takes away from the main feeling of the story. Even though, yes, no, let's go for it. It'd be best for me to explain with an example. Okay, now let's say let's talk about the boat, where you go after you go from oh my gosh, Junon to Junon to Costa del Sol. In the original, you went on the military supply vessel that was basically inhabited by the sailors, and I guess you could call it the Navy portion of FF7R. But oh, hold on, I just realized something. 1 second, guys. There we go, that's better. I completely forgot to do that. Go ahead and put that down and disable preview. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, continuing. So they made it from a military vessel to basically a leisure cruiser, a freaking cruiser, a leisure cruiser, and that is a bit of a problem because it completely changes how you should feel about the scene, that you are stowaways on a military vessel are in danger, so you have to get into disguises, and you're kind of low-key just following Rufus, because Rufus has kind of the similar goals that you are, is finding Sephiroth. Well, you don't really. The only one that actually disguises himself is Red, and they freaking I'm wearing crude, and the only reason is they had him freaking disguises so that he can actually enter the card tournament. Which is freaking, I feel freaking crazy. He just completely took away from the scene, and a lot of people are like, oh, that's so cool at the beginning, but then when you really think about it, you're like, oh, that was kind of stupid. At least in my humble opinion. Actually, a lot of people's opinions. So yeah, no, a lot of the changes were pretty insane. And let's talk about like Sid. Sid was like the rough talking, just completely did not give a crap character who would yell at Shira, who would just cuss, was smoking, and just didn't care because his dream was ruined and he would never be able to go to space and barely got to work on spaceships and other things that he loved due to the circumstances that happened on the first launch. So a lot of that was taken away. And like I said before, it's worrying when you have a remake. You have to think about is like, well, why are you embarrassed about what people have claimed to be one like the best stories that you've created that really put yourselves on the map, that cause people to come and to come and play your other games and have complete trust with you. I mean, freaking FF8 sold gangbusters. FF9 sold a little bit less, but became to be one of the most extremely favorited games after a while because it kind of came out at around the same time that PS2 was coming out, and you start looking forward to FF10 and Kingdom Hearts. So when you have when you have a story that is critically acclaimed and was pretty mature and had themes that people loved, why are you embarrassed about that? You can view things when you get older that, hey, I should have probably depicted it this way, and that is kind of what he's saying, but then you gotta say, he's like, well, why do you feel that way? And for people who don't know, I'm pretty sure they still do, that Square Enix has a ethics department specifically for their games. And I have a feeling that someone from the ethics department, and those who say that Square need an ethics department or probably work in the ethics department, are people who would find, and I hate using this word, that certain aspects of the original FF7 were quote-unquote problematic. Well, here's the thing. Those things that we consider probably problematic helped make the characters real. Helped make the situation something that people who have probably gone through it could probably relate to. Not every situation is black and white. There's a lot of nuance to things, especially things that people might consider bad or could be considered traumatizing. That is, death, verbal abuse in a relationship. You have, and this specifically talking about Sid, because how he's verbally abusive to Shira, and I mean, a lot of people can agree that Sid should not have been like that, but when you learn about a story, you're like, okay, I can see it. It's still not right, but I can see where you're coming from. And they took that away. A lot of the things that people have problems with are sanitized now. They may still be there in a sense, but they're sanitized. And like, just look at another example. Dine's death scene. Dine's death scene is so much better than the original. And they completely sanitized it. They took away the freaking suicide portion of it. I know suicide is a very hard thing for a lot of people to deal with, especially when they had family members or loved ones who were successful in doing that. It can be tough. However, it helps you relate to the scene and really brings a depth that a sanitized scene like they did in FF7R, where Dine just kind of dies and puts his hatred on to Barret and says, oh, Barret, you have to live with this, rather in the original he commits suicide because he understands that he is kind of too messed up to keep on living, that he did terrible things, and if he were to visit his daughter in that state, then it wouldn't be a good thing for his daughter. So he decides, hey, Barret, you need to take care of this. Take care, and he takes himself out. Okay, there wasn't no, you need to live with this anger, all your fault, and so on and so forth. Whether you believe it's Barret's fault or what that he believed, well, that's something for you to interpret. But it was such a stronger scene in the original, and they take that out. And when you sanitize it, you just lose a lot of the punch that the original FF7 had and why people loved it. And even in the article makes mention, and props to Kitase saying, hey, yes, I may not have liked the way that we did it, but it's probably those quote-unquote imperfections, and just to let you know, those imperfections and the way that you deal with things generally are more reflective of how things are nowadays, or how things actually happen in real life. It's not always sanitized, it's not always extreme evil, it's not always extremely sanitized, or I'm not sure the best way to put that, but it's something. There's a reason why people remember it, and Kitase even says it. So we have a feeling that a lot of that is going to be changed, and not for the best. Just because you feel something should be changed doesn't mean that it is right to change. Sometimes you may not like it, but there's a reason why it became so popular and why people still remember it to this day, and you should keep it. Not all change is good. In fact, there's a reason why change is inevitable. Yes, it is the nature of things. It's the nature of life, and it's the nature of us as humans, as we are always thinking about ourselves, the way that we view society, view our part in society, and then also showing how we may be able to change it and how to better it. And sometimes those changes that we decide to make from our ever-expanding view is not good and is considered a downgrade, and we should revert, you know? And I have a feeling that we are making these changes and we're not going to be able to revert them. And one of the main reasons why I brought this up, and you'll see it in the thumbnail in the video, is I have a feeling that in some way they're trying to make it so that the remake trilogy overtakes the OG as the de facto version of the story. Now, and one of the big counteractive arguments like people like to make, which I find completely and utterly stupid, and is just not real and is kind of naive in a way, is that people are like, oh, the original FF7 is always going to be there. Yes, it will always be there as long as physical copies and digital copies still remain. However, okay, if you do a simple search on Final Fantasy VII, what comes up? It's the remake trilogy. Even if you do FF7 OG, in my experiences when I'm trying to do like thumbnails and looking for inspiration for various art assets compared for FF7, it's still remake characters, it's still remake screenshots. So no, it is very prevalent compared to the original source. And I think that's on purpose. If you're so embarrassed about the way you did things back then and you're making a remake, well, why would you want to keep the original source that made you embarrassed? No one wants to be embarrassed. No one wants to have the reminder of something that they consider embarrassing to be over them all the time. Oh, where'd my map go? So, no, I mean, you're going against very human nature. And not to mention, there are so many Twitter posts, discussions on Reddit and various other boards, as well as me talking personally to younger gamers, saying they really don't want to touch the original FF7 because of graphics. It's just too old. And I can see where, yeah, the graphics, they do show they do show their age. Even though I find them charming, they do show their age, and I can understand that. It does not get. It's not something that I will ignore and say, nah, pitch posh, whatever. You just don't understand. No, I get it. So when you have people not wanting to touch the original, like perhaps one of the games that put Square on the map, and that is so critically acclaimed due to graphics, something that could be considered superficial when the main draw was the characters and the story at that time. Not to mention, when you're looking at search algorithms putting FF7, the remake trilogy, oh, I'm probably gonna die, putting the trilogy above the original, you are going to, it's really hard for people to not say like, no, this is kind of the de facto going to take over the spot of the original. When people think of Final Fantasy VII, they're going to think of the remake trilogy. That's only natural from what I've seen. Now, will the original FF7 go away? No, it's too good of a game. It's too well known. People still have their physical copies that are still work and still decent in condition. You have digital copies that are still out there. If people try to take it away, people are going to use, say, pirating to keep it out there. No, there's too much love for the game for the original game for it to go away. Okay, now they might try to take it off the stores, and that is definitely telling. And that would be definitely dead giveaway. Almost no discussion can be had that they're trying to hide it. But at the point, no, this is just a theory. This is just my opinion, and from the observable facts that I have found. Okay, it is very much FF7R is in the foreground. People when think of FF7R right now, or FF7, they're thinking of FF7R. They're not thinking of the original, especially with the younger generation. So I can't stand when people kind of just pish posh the argument that no, they're not getting rid of it. No, they're definitely a lot of no, there's evidence, and like I said, it might be circumstantial. It might be just us critiques and us older guys who love the original are overthinking it. But you gotta give it up that, yeah, it's a little strange. And like I'm just saying, I'm hoping it's just all in my head, which, you know, I will go happily just say, hey, it was just a thought, just a feeling. But when something's embarrassing you, nah, you don't want to stick around. Damn, I really have 2 sockets. Those are good for stealth. I mean, we might even later on talk about until we can get stealth rune word, we'll go ahead and do that. Defense. Wait a minute. I didn't realize I had leather armor. I'm stupid. Like, I just saw another article about apparently discussing and showing how the original team actually censored FF7, or the original. Oh my gosh, I'm having trouble speaking. How FF7R was censored. Apparently, they were going to be a little bit closer to the original, a little bit more risque, and apparently there's some kind of evidence where they shown that they were censored. But that's something I have to read into. I don't want to put my 2 cents out there without actually reading the proper articles and whatnot. I mean, I can see where they might do it, but like that'd be speculation. I don't want to do that. But yeah, no, we're going to go ahead and put that away for right now. It's something I can talk about, and I just want us to concentrate on the game and have some fun. We're already 30 minutes in. I promised myself I wouldn't do a freaking 30-minute discussion about it, but yeah, I'm just passionate about it. Okay, so continuing off. Oh, I got you this time. So we have our little spammer. Nobody. Don't go Steam Boo. I don't know what Steam Boo is. Get out of here, Stinky. Okay. Well, I was continuously checking preview. Okay. There we go. So no, the reason why, I named my Warlock Parfait, like I said earlier, is I had a really nice parfait made with almond milk and sugar-free granola and blueberries and strawberries. That was really stinking good. It hit the nice spot for my sugar, for the want of sugar. So, no, I was freaking Jones. Oh, keep that. No, I was freaking jonesing for it. So when my parents brought it home, I was like, oh, freaking dope! I can have it. Like, yeah, dude, it's totally yours. We brought it home for you, for you to try, because we know you don't do the sugar thing as much. So I'm like, oh, cool. I want to keep that until we're going to keep it. So that was freaking blessing. But they also brought me home some tri-tip from the school. So yeah, one of my parents works at a school, and they often so during the summer, right before school starts, they'll have a nice big meeting, and it's catered. And my mother, who works for the school, is kind of the person in charge of putting it together, and she's able to take home basically any leftovers, and they'll bring me some to my place. And apparently they had tri-tip. You know, if you watch my Vampire Survivors, I was talking about how we had a tri-tip for dinner one previous night, and then when I had it for breakfast again, it was pretty good. But apparently my dad was saying that this stuff, like the tri-tip, was so tender that he was able to literally just pick the steak apart with his fingers. Like, he had like some steak that he got on the plate, right? Because he was help work in the event with my mother to help her out, and like he was able to like just tear the meat apart with his hands. So that's how apparently tender, and it was super good. So I'm looking forward to that. The parfait was really just to kind of hold me over while I'm streaming. So yeah, no, I'm freaking looking forward to that. And then the coffee I'm having today was just I'm still working off because I make my coffee in big batches, so I can put it in the fridge. So I'm still working off of I still believe it's the churro, the churro coffee with the sugar-free creamer in it, which I need to, when I go shopping today, I am going to go ahead and grab some more sugar-free coffee creamer because we are almost out. Oh, I forgot. So yeah, in this mod they do add a lot more uniques. Like I probably forgot to mention. I know it's in the description that I'm running the Reimagined mod, so it adds a whole bunch of uniques and stuff like that. A whole bunch of new rune words, and kind of makes some builds that are not really viable in the vanilla D2R a little bit more viable, like the Necromancer Summoner build makes it a hell of a lot more viable. Although they kind of did nerf it a little bit, but we will discuss that if I ever decide to play a Necromancer. I forget, because I'm playing Reimagined in another area, but I can't find the freaking save for that Necromancer that I'm running. I had to stop it because I had to go build something that is better that can farm and solo better, because I can't beat Diablo 2 or Diablo in Hell mode because I just don't have the equipment. So I need the unique equipment specific that's found in this mod for it, and I need a better class to go farm that so I can actually beat the damn Hell mode with the poor Necromancer. So freaking A, yeah, no, it's a keen discussion. Yeah, no, it's been freaking tiring. Yesterday I was with my younger brother who had knee surgery to repair his meniscus. So yeah, I didn't get to play much games, so I played a little bit of Halo after I came home with him after the surgery, and we were there for like 6 hours. Like, he told me I could go home and play a little bit of games and stuff like that, but like, nah, just to help support him. So I was there even though I was in the waiting room for the majority of that time. So, and yeah, I couldn't play too many games. So yeah, it was pretty busy day yesterday, despite me being sitting down in the freaking uncomfortable hospital chairs for majority of the time. What level am I? 6? No, 5. Okay, so we want, I think you say a little bit of dexterity here. So I'm running a build. So this is a leveling build. Generally, the Reimagined community has builds specific for the mod, but they don't really have for Warlocks. I think Warlock's a little too new, and they're constantly updating it, so no one can get like a steady. Oh, that's trap. No one can get a steady build on it. So I'm running off of something from Maxroll, and this is a leveling. So it's apparently going to be something called an Echo Strike. I have never played Warlock before, so I don't. All I know is that they can kind of do like a demon summoning and then there's some like a chaos build. So I'm not fully sure what to expect here. So this is brand spanking new. And so I have to kind of run off of a build. Even though like I've run Sorceress before, I barely played Barbarian. Right now I think I'm running a Zeal, or no, an Aura Paladin in another Reimagined instance. Although I can't find that save, so I'm wondering if it's on my laptop. So I have to go check that out, because I'm like, I put in a lot of farming and a lot of time in that Paladin. Oh, okay, I forgot to get back here. I do love that when he strikes with the dagger, he like freaking uses telekinesis. That's actually a really cool effect. So I'll give, even though I don't trust modern Blizzard, they still can do some pretty cool animations and some pretty creative things. Speaking of Blizzard, have you all heard that the investigations into all the bullcrap that they said that the male Blizzard employees were doing, all the harassment, was most likely not true? So perhaps one of the biggest situations that kind of spurred the big, is for lack of a better word, DEI changes in gaming and gaming hiring practices was based off of a lie. Well, anyone who knows and talks about DEI, who reads up on it and keeps their tabs on it, would know that that's actually not surprising at all. They do that a lot. So who could have imagined? I don't know how or if they're going to ever reverse that, but it's one of those things that just makes you cry, because in reality, no, it makes you want to, it makes you want to cry, but then you laugh just because what better way for you to actually handle it? If I was the freaking management, I'd be just firing like, okay, so you were hired due to this event or because of this event? Nope, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, and just try and get all like the base guys back. But I just play those games and try and keep my my wits about me. This is my slight escape. I already have to deal with all these politics enough, and I try and keep my finger on everything and do my best to help out and where I can to fight all this nonsense. But boy, sometimes you just need to escape. I'm glad I started streaming because yeah, no, this is a really nice way for me just to relax and decompress, as well as talk to random people. Oh, okay, well, we're gonna get away with you. So yeah, lightning enchanting is freaking very dangerous. Although I'm a magic build, so it's not as bad for me. My MP reserves right now are still not the best, and like most builds kind of go down to put only as much stat points into dexterity or strength as you need for equipment, and then everything else into vitality. Almost never anything's put into energy, because you can get access to certain rune words that helps. Let me see, is there anything better? That helps keep your. Okay, that's actually a lot better. You get rune words that is supposed to help with your MP regeneration. Oh my goodness. So I'm trying to think if I want to continue this for more morning quickies, because like I said before, this is actually a pretty good game for quick, like hour and a half worth of farming, if I can keep it to that point. But my brothers and I were talking, and we were thinking that we probably hit some more of the shorter games, because, and by shorter I mean like games that you could probably just do one-shots on, because right now I'm doing Rotato, Vampire Survivors, and right now the Diablo II are with the Reimagined mod, and those are most likely going to be more than one part because there's a lot of unlockables, despite the gameplay loop being very short. And specifically Vampire Survivors and Brotato. This one, yeah, the loop is kind of small, but it is a larger game. So there's gonna be definitely a lot more parts. So we're talking about like maybe games I haven't played before that I know well. So we were specifically discussing perhaps I Am Bread. Anyone who knows that game, that is an older Rage game where you basically control a piece of bread that your entire goal is to be toasted. And it's very basically a physics-based game that is known to be just a pisser. A lot of the more famous streamers and YouTubers have already played it, like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, I think, played it at one time. And man, they might be right. I'm not sure if I want to, but I'm willing to try it, right? So we're gonna kind of go over a list in Steam and probably like itch.io to see other games that would benefit from it. Benefit's the wrong word. That would follow more into that category. I am kind of excited though. I don't like Rage games, but I think they would be fun just for a one-shot experience for the channel. I think those would be a really fun interactive stream for the Morning Quickie. It'd definitely get my blood pressure up and definitely wake me up and get me ready for the day. That for sure. It wouldn't help with my stress levels. Damn, I'm still peeking. I know I have the filters on. Hold on. Okay, they're gonna try that. Put the mic a little bit farther away from my face. Right now, just a heads up, my microphone is an Audio Technica. The headphone made specifically for streaming that the streamer Vine Sauce, Vinny, actually made mention in one of his videos, and I thought that would be probably the best starting microphone for me right now. I mean, I have a Shure podcasting mic, but I have nowhere to put it. I have I do have a boom that I have for my camera right now, but the thing is, I don't think it'll hold the weight of the microphone, and not to mention I think I'm having problems with the boom arm holding up the camera, because it's just a small webcam, but the camera, I think I stripped the part where you screw the camera onto the boom, and I think I stripped it because now it won't stay. So I have to figure out how to do that. I don't want to have to buy a whole new camera just for me to have the setup that works best for me, when it still technically works. I just have to kind of balance it and kind of force stick the bottom of the camera onto the boom. But I mean, I do have the Shure, and the Shure will work, and it's always a backup just in case anything happens to the Technica, which, you know, God forbid nothing actually happens, because I can't afford another Technica right now. You know, I thoroughly enjoyed, Vinny was right. I thoroughly enjoy the quality that I get from it and the ease of use of the headphones. Not that I'm, sponsored or anything. It's something that I really liked. Oh my goodness. So, I think I was talking about being in the hospital with my brother while I was getting the knee surgery. So what I did do for those like 6 to 7 hours is I went back to play the mobile version of the Pokemon Infinite Fusions, and I played in random mode. So you would not have guessed what I found in the first Route 1 right after Pallet Town. I found Arceus. I found freaking Arceus fusions. I couldn't capture anything. So if anyone who knows anything about the mobile version of Pokemon Infinite Fusions, you really have no way of accessing the debug menu outside of trying to manually edit the save function, and that's really hard to do in the mobile version. I think that in the updated versions of the game, they actually took away the normal version of getting to the debug menu, which is like you had to capture all base forms of the Pokemon and then get like what's the magic boots or something. I think they took that away from the updated version of the game. And further, I think, and I'm pretty sure that, yeah, you can't access it anymore. And they didn't actually have a good way of accessing it in the mobile version. But they, I was able to figure, why I can't kill these guys so quick. But no, I was able to manually, through some nice trial and error and guys, was able to manually edit the save file, so I was able to get the debug menu, because I don't want to have to grind for money. So generally, I just I allow myself to get enough money to buy a whole bunch of Pokeballs, and I use like 100 Pokeballs, and I couldn't catch the damn thing. And I kept fighting it, and it kept taking out my damn starter. And the starter was Froakie. Apparently they added the same generation where Froakie and all them came out to the game. I thought they were already in there, but apparently they weren't. Because yeah, I did a New Game Plus, was supposed to keep all your Pokedex progress, and I had 100%. Well, all of a sudden I looked at my Pokedex progress and I no longer had 100%. So I'm guessing they added a whole bunch of new Pokemon, because not a bow user, but I mean, that's probably worth money. So, oh my gosh, where I was going. So yeah, big problems with that. But I liked having random mode, because yeah, it allowed me to vary up my team. Because in Pokemon, the way I usually do things is I will take the team that I originally captured, basically all the way through the game, even though it's like really the weaker versions of weaker Pokemon, like some bugs. Like, yeah, I'll take all the early teams I have, and I'll take them all the way, because I don't want to have to re-level, because generally I like to grind in Pokemon games. So those guys are already like 5 levels above Pokemon that you will capture in later routes that would be considered just the general upgrade. But I'm like, yeah, but I already leveled these guys, and I don't want to re-level the other guys, so I'll just stick with them and they do fine. Because generally, yeah, you can really beat the Pokemon games with really any team as long as you're smart with it. Infinite Fusion's a little bit less so, because a lot of those guys, a lot of the trainers actually have fusions, and they can be a little tough. Like, they cover their weaknesses pretty well, and they like to use actual competitive teams a lot of the time. So yeah, no, fusions, it's hard. You can't really do what you did in the base Pokemon games. But I also heard that I saw that they came out with Pokemon Infinite Fusion's Hoenn. But what sucks is that they only came out like part 1 of it. So I thought, they came out with the full game. No, apparently it's just like one part, and they're working on the full game right now. So I never even decided downloading it, because like, why would I just wait for the full game? Because any progress I'll most likely do, any save files most likely will have to be restarted, because they'll change something that the current save file, whatever data is on there, just would either be corrupt or just couldn't be found. Or maybe they have like some variable that they renamed, so you'll have like a floating variable that just doesn't really mean anything, or you'll ooh, these guys are unique. I hate these guys. We need more mana. There you go. So yeah, no, that's a problem. And I know, like, I'm studying programming, and that's probably the absolute wrong thing to say for like a floating variable. I'm like, no, that's floating variable is not what I was supposed to say there. Floating variable is something completely different. It's oh my gosh, what is the term for it when the variable is no longer there? Or like it's the old variable name. I think you might get a compilation error, so it wouldn't even run, which is probably why you need to start a new save file. But I almost want to say abandoned variable. That's not it either. Oh, I'm gonna be so much trouble back when I go back to university. Oh no. I didn't make mention that in this mod, like, I think they increased the number of freaking enemies in there, because holy crap, I don't remember there being this many enemies. No, Luna. Sorry, but you can't be up here while I'm playing. Or at least while I'm recording. I don't care if you're up here while I'm playing, because you always get on the damn keyboard. If you wouldn't get on the keyboard, this wouldn't be that much of a problem. Oh, MP, please. Thank you. Javelin's worth money. Okay. So I think I made mention of this before, but I'm thinking of doing... maybe playing a little Pal World? But I am very worried about that because Pal World freaking crashed my OBS last time I did it. So yeah, I'm a little worried. I guess if I do lower settings, it wouldn't be too bad. So I might play that later today because I had the day off today. And because I took it off because to make sure that my brother's, just in case he needs anything. I know it was like outpatient surgery, so the recovery time is not as bad. But just in case, I mean, guy wouldn't be able to walk too much. He said like, oh, it'd be like a 3-day recovery, which is actually pretty good. Because I remember when I had surgery when I was in middle school, they cut some growth plates out of my leg because I had a problem where one of my legs was seemed to be growing at a faster pace, or growing longer faster than the other one. It wasn't super noticeable. Required level 12. Okay, so 12. Okay, so it wasn't noticeable like other people wouldn't be able to say. They could see me limping, and it was very, I could feel it. So they waited for me to be almost done with my puberty or very close to it before cutting the growth plates out of the leg that was growing faster. That put me, that was basically bedridden for like a week or two, maybe even longer if I remember correctly. Like I was in a full cast, I was in everything. So I'm getting, yeah, we got two completely different procedures. You had one basically cutting into bone and one repairing meniscus. Not necessarily comparable, but yeah, no, when I had my knee surgery, it was bad. It was really bad. I wanted those pain pills super bad, but I was a lot younger, so my parents were in charge of the pain pills, and I would get in extreme pain during the night, and I didn't want to wake them up. And I didn't have a phone back then. In fact, there were cell phones back then, but none of them were touchscreen, I don't think, back then. Was there Blackberries back then? Oh my gosh. I don't remember. I think there were flip phones just coming out? Oh my gosh. I'll have to ask someone who would remember better than I do. Yeah, because I had no cell phone. I had no phone to call them while I was in my bed, so I would have to yell at them from across the house while they were sleeping. Say, hey, like, I'm in extreme pain. Can I get one of my oxycodones? So yeah, no, that was a hard night. That first night, that was coming back from the hospital after that. Oh, that was a hard night. Tell you that for free. When I was, I need more mana for this one. I do not like dealing with the dark archers with that, because yeah, they hurt, especially uniques. I remember playing this. Oh, I have no mana potions. This sucks balls. Okay. Okay, might have to wait for that to heal a little bit. I almost tried to do like I tried pressing insert on my keyboard to put myself into a sitting position because I was playing Ragnarok online, and that's my shortcut to put yourself into a sitting position. And in sitting position, Ragnarok increases your HP and SP, which SP is mana in Ragnarok Online, the recovery percentages. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, so I'll have to wait here for my mana to go up a little bit. Oh, no, go back. Oh, yeah, remember when I was younger, I had no access to builds. And everything was basically Wild West, and I screwed myself royally in most of my builds because there wasn't a ready available way to reset your stats back then. And I think I bought Diablo 2 when LOD first came out. I don't think I ever got the vanilla version of it. And apparently, I'm kind of glad, because apparently the version with LOD is the definitive way to play the old Diablo. Like, it was apparently Diablo 2, because it was so, well, I wouldn't say bad, but definitely a hell of a lot different and a lot more unique with LOD expansion. Like, they added a whole bunch. I think Runewords came out in the LOD expansion, and then we had this one. So Diablo 2 Resurrected is the remake. No, not really. I guess it could be considered a remaster, or no, technically a remake, I guess. But no, they. I was a little worried about it, because when they remade Warcraft 3, the RTS, it was so bad. And Warcraft 3 was one of the RTSs that I loved as a kid, besides Red Alert 2, Red Alert series, Red Alert 2 being my favorite. At the time, I never really had a computer that could play Red Alert 3 or Red Alert or Generals, Command & Conquer Generals, which I think came after Red Alert 2. And I never had access. I mean, my computer at the time could run the original Tiberium series, but I never had access to it. Like, we were poor, we didn't really have the ability to buy it. And my parents they always told me, I know it's bullcrap now, but they always told me, like, oh, the more games you play, it hurts the computer. It becomes bad, so you can't play too many games. And that's their excuse, so I wouldn't sit there playing games all day. The same excuse they did for the damn TV, so I couldn't play my PlayStation or Super Nintendo or Atari or whatever at the time. So basically, you can have access to the TV, and I'd barely be able to play it. Like, oh no, you play too much, and you plug those cords in, the almost was RGBs, RVA cables. Oh my gosh, I don't remember. Like, oh, you plug those in, those are bad for TVs. You can only play games for a short amount of time. And a lot of us just believed anything when we were kids. We just didn't have the technological know-how. We weren't experienced like most kids are nowadays with technology. So we would believe really anything. Like, okay, I guess so. What, an old book? Weapon magic damage, demonic mastery. What are miasma bolts? Oh, no, that's a shield. What am I doing? Duh. Hell yeah, of course you want the book. What am I, stupid? I was actually tempted to play the original D2 with LOD. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, I just had to see what my streaming time was. I was originally tempted to play the original Diablo 2 LOD with the, what mod was it? The Wise mod? Yiggs mod, I think? That basically gives all the online only rune words available to single player, increases stash size, screws with the Heraldric Q combining tables, and adds a lot of cool other items and uniques. Because not only are the graphics really nostalgic for me, well, it's not, I can't really just say it's only nostalgia. Those sprites, even the art to this day, stands the test of time. It is so good. It is ridiculous how good it holds up. Like their art direction and the artists that worked on there, just classic Blizzard, was just a chef's kiss. They were so good. But yeah, I was tempted to play that. But I mean D2R with the Reimagined is still pretty good too, and you can't really go wrong with it. Although they did, oh good God, they did censor a couple of things I'm not too happy about. You know what I'm talking about. You'll see when we get there. I'm looking at you and Dario, and the succubi, and a lot of the dark rogues. Yeah, a little bit changes that I wasn't too happy with. A little of the art direction, and like it's funny if you watch the videos when they talk about the art, how over the top it was. The reason why, no, they're like, no, we need to make this over the top. This is going to be for real. No, absolutely over the top. And it's funny to watch those. And they're right. It is, because they're saying it's going to be so memorable and people are going to remember it. You know, they're right. The art direction was so ridiculous, but so good, so artsy, so dark, so gothic, so demonic, and people remember and love it to this day. I freaking love the original Diablo 2. Even the original Diablo, like the original Diablo's art doesn't hold as well as Diablo 2's does, but it's still really good. Like if you can increase the frame rates and a little bit of choppiness that the original animations did for Diablo, yeah, it'd be really good. I almost want to say that I would love to see a remake of the original Diablo, but with how Final Fantasy VII Remake is and modern Blizzard, because even with all these allegations being false and them coming to light, I don't see the company going away from DEI or the hiring practices that really focused upon hiring women and minorities over really anyone that actually showed the passion and know-how to make a good game, be it whatever gender or skin color or whatever. I don't see them changing that, or at least if it does change, it won't be for a good long while. It's going to take time. And until that time happens, or if the change ever does happen, I just don't see. I'm very afraid of them doing any remakes to any of the classics, because they're going to put the modern sensibilities to try and appease the modern audience, which, by the way, does not exist. Okay, that's one of the big reasons why I did my FF7R rant, anyways, where how I think they're, I do truly believe that they're actually trying to make FF7R the de facto version of FF7, because they're apparently embarrassed with the way they depicted various other themes and cultural or social sensibilities back in the original for modern standards. Which, I mean, who's in Kitase here? I mean, come on now. No. We discussed it at the beginning. I'm not going to discuss it again. I will look up when talking about censorship, and we might discuss it in the next Morning Quickie, or since tomorrow is freaking in memoriam for FF7, we're continuing off in the calm flashback. Or heck, since I have the day off, we might do an extra in memoriam, or I might play Pal World. My brother and I were talking about continuing our multiplayer server for Pal World. So we'll see about that. My streaming, I don't know. Like I said, I'm very afraid of streaming that game. Just how freaking resource heavy that is, having to fight with the VTube studio as well as the freaking OBS. But yeah, we'll discuss that later. Oh. So, question, chat. I really only do things sugar-free, so that includes soda, and I know that sugar-free soda is still not that great for you. It's still something that I really want to kick as well, but it does hit that sugar fix, or sweet fix, that I really need to, so I don't go hog wild on sugar. But they did release, A&W released a soda that was like ice cream sundae, and they made a sugar-free version that was, to my day, one of my favorite sugar-free sodas. But they discontinued it, and you can find it still, but very rarely. But you can't really find it in sugar-free anymore. But Shasta, I found in my local market, actually makes kind of like an off-brand version of that. It's like a zero sugar chocolate ice cream sundae soda, and it tastes so good. Oh my gosh. So when I'm going shopping today for creamer, because I also got to pick up some medicine for myself from the pharmacy, I might see if they have those and pick some up. Like I buy those by the freaking 12-pack, like redonkulous, when they have them. But I didn't realize Miasma Bolt can hit AoE. Oh, I'm stupid. This is gamer not reading his skill text problem. Classic, hand in hand, like PB&J. Gamer not reading his skills. But anyway, the reason why I asked you, chat, so chat, what's your favorite soda flavors if you drink soda? Which, you know, we should all probably quit. Or if you do zero sugar, what are like some zero sugar sodas that you really like? So I'd love to expand my own backstock here with stuff that's really tasty. Throw those in my own little mini fridge. Because yeah, I'm jonesing for some new flavors. Like you can't go wrong with a lot of the classics because I really love the various flavors of the oh my gosh, Dr. Pepper, because they like Dr. Pepper zero sugar coconut, zero sugar cherry, zero sugar strawberry when I can find them. And then you have the zero sugar original, which I find them better than the original diet Dr. Pepper, even though diet Dr. Pepper tastes very, for a diet, tastes I think the most similar to the original sugared version of it. I think I was supposed to put strength at some point. Was it around level 6? Or am I level 8? I can't read. Even with my glasses. We're talking about... Was it Hex? That I needed to do? Summon Goatman, Demonic Master. It was Consume. No. Was it? Because why would you get... Because we're talking about Consume in the build, but why would you get Consume if you're not doing a summon build? Or is it that you want to summon and then sacrifice it with Consume to increase your power for Chaos? Because this is the leveling build. Then we go into... What was it? What's the skill called? Is it an Eldritch? No, what is it called? Echoing Strike, that's it right there. Create echoes of your melee weapon that pierce through enemies. Receives bonuses from Mirrored Blades. Okay, yeah, so part of this mod, I think they also change up the benefits they get from leveling up other skills. So kind of like takes from builds that might be wide to kind of makes it like a more concrete build, so you know exactly what you want to do. Because yeah, we're talking about, was it one of the sigils that you had to get? Was it Lethargy? Might have been. But then it said to get Miasma Bolt to I think level 12, then work on Miasma Chain. Okay, I think that's what it was. But yeah, now continuing our discussion. Yeah, sugar-free sodas. Tell me your favorites. I want to increase mine. my taste. I need more flavors in my life. I need to spice it up. And talking about that, like sugar-free desserts, because we did a big ass discussion, I think, in the last Morning Quickie about sugar-free desserts and how I've been getting into making my own custom ones. Does anyone have any examples of sugar-free desserts they may have found and really like, or even low sugar, like keto? Keto is my go-to for sugar-free stuff. Yeah, they're high in fat, but it's trying to get your body still needs a decent amount of fat to help burn it. You just want to stay away from like high processed sugars or anything that's really highly processed. You want to try and stay away from. That's to the best of your abilities. You can't really get away with it too much, especially if you eat out, or if you have snacks. But yeah, try and get fresh meat, fresh stuff, and make it yourself, basically. But yeah, any ideas? I would freaking love to know. Unfortunately, with sugar-free stuff, you're kind of limited, especially in desserts, to what you can actually do, which sucks. But I mean, hey, you get what you get. You do what you do. You do what you have to do to survive in this world of consumption and sugars and delicious, delicious snacks. Dude, I miss flavored popcorns. The place where I get my poutine, because I used to only get poutines on whatever was last day of my work week. And then now I expanded to get also the poutine that I discussed in my previous morning quickie. I get it on Saturdays right after my Saturday workout, just also as another treat. The place where I get my poutine from, there's a booth that does custom flavored popcorns. Well, not really custom. They do like they have a menu, and they'll generally have pre-made bags of the stuff, and they're kind of always churning it out. But you can kind of ask for like fresh stuff and like differentiate the flavors a little bit. So they have that there, and it's really hard not to get a bag of popcorn from there. And not only is it a little expensive, but it's just really it's the fat stuff that I don't need. And I love their spicy nacho flavor. And now people are like, sound that's really gross, or like non-Americans like, oh, that sounds gross. It's good. And just eat in moderation, you'll be fine. Don't give me the crap that you wouldn't eat, like, oh, it's disgusting. You know what's disgusting? It's the freaking pineapple in the Kool-Aid. Especially when you add Hennessy to it. The freaking little TikTok trend that was happening a while ago, and I think people are still doing it. That's disgusting. Okay? You know what's disgusting is taking freaking hot Cheetos, crushing them up and using them as breading for hot wings. Albeit, I will be willing to try that once. Still sounds disgusting though. Okay? So don't get me wrong, we do have some disgusting stuff here, but a lot of our stuff is really good. And you just gotta eat in moderation. A lot of us are actually health oriented. I mean, a lot of us work out, we watch what we eat. So don't give me that crap. Especially in the world, like, how do you freaking people keep believing that nonsense, especially after the World Cup, when a lot of people came over here like, oh wait, America's not what it seems that we kept talking about and hearing from our local newses. Even the news that you get from America most likely was CNN or people that actually hate us. So man, come on now. Are we probably a little more fatter than other countries? Yeah, because we also have abundance. That happens in countries that have an abundance. But don't believe everything you hear online. Come on now. I'm a little worried about this one. Because I played the Reimagined mod before in a couple other classes. So there's two little mini bosses here that are the minions to Bloodraven. And I think they're like Bloodraven's right hand and something else. These guys are tough. They shred through you. So a little worried. Go ahead and make town's portal there. And if I need to, run my ass off. Okay, I forgot the shortcuts for equipping that stuff. Okay, I'm trying to get you out. The only bad thing is that Bloodraven can make zombies, so you fight the zombies all you can, but gotta be careful though. Oh, I forgot, runes freaking drop a lot quicker. Okay, what are you? You're the eye. So you're the fast one. Okay, so that wasn't that bad. Also, I'm only in players 1. Generally, I play this on players 3 or 5. But being as I'm not familiar with the Warlock, I don't want to test it quite yet. Where's the other one? I think the other one is extra strong. Okay, where are you? Yeah, there's it right here. You're the Talon. Okay, so it freaking wasn't that bad on one. I'm just being retarded for sake of it, I guess. Okay, now we just got Bloodraven then. Speaking of, there you are. Yeah, freaking, she is the bane of a lot of magic users because she freaking runs so freaking much. Okay, there you go. Not bad. That's all I get. That sucks. Ooh. That is loud too. Holy crap. I hope that wasn't as bad for you guys. Oh, you hear that guitar riff? Ooh. That is sexy. I forget how good the freaking Diablo II soundtrack is. That is nice, dude. That tingles along the spine just right. That's like a nice like finger with like kind of a longer nail just kind of slowly going up your spine. That little tingly feeling. Ooh, ooh, yeah, that's good. That feels nice. Like I was saying though, before I orgasmed over the music, is a nice belt to find and start off with. Faster hit recovery, which is good because you want to hit the frames. Well, is it as good for no? Because your Echo Strike, yeah. So you probably got to worry about the faster hit recovery. Enhanced defense, always nice. Extra life, mana, good. Attacker takes damage at once. We got some a little bit of thorns. Okay. Ooh, that's an incredible upgrade over the belt. Need more mana potions though. Control left drop. Oh, I hate that. Okay, there you go. So yeah, you have to, whatever potion you put in your belt is what you can then use the shortcut to throw the potion into your belt with the shift left click. You have to have that spot be already have taken up by the certain HP level or HP pot level. So you can't have like a 2 automatically go into 1. You have to already have had a 2 in there. And then yeah, you were these aren't uniques, these are elites. I think yellows are elites. Not as much defense, but you're looking at in life increase and magic damage reduced by 1. Yeah, of course you're gonna take that. Why wouldn't you take that? Superior cap. Yeah, I'll take increased duration. Oh, I have not been paying attention. That's the one thing I noticed. I used to make fun of streamers for screwing things up because I was like, freaking streamer tax, you're freaking nuts. Nope, see it now. Like most things in life, you don't fully understand until you actually do it yourself. So, nope, I get it now. I got you, streamers. I understand you. I am your ally. Right? Got your game now. Oh, yeah. Oh, hold shift to I completely forgot you could do that. That is nice. And you. Adds 3 to 5. Adds 3 to 5 weapon magic damage. I wonder if there's a pop filter I can get for the mic because yeah, I'm popping real hard sometimes. And my gain's still going in the red sometimes. That's stupid. I hate that. So that increases the damage I can do. Okay, so that increases the damage for the dagger. Well, I don't have enough strength as it is anyway, so it doesn't freaking matter. That's a nice that's nice defense. I have to look up the build because I had to close out the build for some of my streaming stuff. I'll put that in there for now. Increase my strength. I probably want to keep books. Okay. So at the time, we'll go ahead and try and finish these 2 dungeons real quick. And I think we'll call it for the day. Actually, no, what the hell? Oh, get the hell out of here. What am I doing? You know why? Because I will get a little buddy. I'll get my archer buddy.
I hardly believe that you...
Okay, Diane. You are fire arrow. Do you want to deal with that? See, if I'm a mage, I'm most likely going to want a Act 2. An Act 2 mercenary and give them the pole with the rune word that increases mana regeneration. I forget what it's called though. Huh. Okay, you know what? We'll just deal with that. Oh, I have you. And then... That's not a terrible bow for her to have. It doesn't matter for her. You boots. Give you fire resistance. That'd be nice for you too. You gloves. I think that's all you're gonna need. Okay, so you that. That.
I'll put that to good use. I'll put that to good use.
I know you will.
I'll put that to good
No
use.
need to repeat yourself though.
I'll put that to good use.
Okay, so yeah, increase. This is just an increase to my damage, so I'll be stupid to go through those 2 dungeons without it.
It is clear.
Okay, don't need all that. Keep you for now. I want to keep that shield. No, I think we'll go ahead and get rid of it. You increase here? You do, I forgot. Should have been identifying these guys. I'm a dummy. I'm a dumbass. Stupid Logan. Making the basic mistakes. Because sometimes he wonders if he started. Okay. Is it control right click to, or shift right click to? Yes, okay, so shift right click allows you to completely fill your tome. As you get some mana potions as well. I know, I kind of want to place a little bit more, but now for Morning Quickie, this is specifically for shorter. What in the hell just happened? Y'all see that? Freaking barrel just exploded again. Holy balls. That was a cool effect though. The only thing I hate about the barrels is when they explode. I know you don't need arrows. Does that increase your damage though? Or do you need like the magic or ones for that to happen? They changed a lot for the, I'm not sure if it's from the mod, because minions in the original Diablo II LOD, Lord of Destruction, the mercenaries couldn't equip, like, I don't think they could equip gloves, boots, or rings for that matter. I'm not sure if they changed that for Resurrected or that's part of the mod. Either way, it's nice to have though. I also eventually want to make a mosaic assassin build, even though they said in this mod they made other assassins build viable. But apparently like mosaic is like one of the top builds of like all time. Apparently people wanted it to be like nerfed for the longest time just because of how overpowered it is. I think he's like infinite martial arts. Which I haven't played an assassin since, oh my gosh, back in when I was a kid in the original Diablo II LOD days. And like she was the first one I played. is because like I was all about the dark, the assassins, dark, behind the scenes, you know, killing people in secret, stealth. Dude, that was what young Logan was all about. And you know what? It's still cool this day, but I have a special place in my heart for the frontline paladin, frontline warrior builds now. I don't know why my taste changed. It's something I'm not fully sure. I really have to think about that. No, even I go, because most games I play, because like when I played FF14, I originally wanted to play a dancer, because I wanted to make a VR dancer for obvious reasons. But then I had to first become a bard, because dancer wasn't available until like level, was it 60? Or is it 80? No, 80 was Gunbreaker, and what came out with Gunbreaker? No, that was Dancer, right? Yeah. No, so Dancer was... No, Gunbreaker was 60. I am retarded. I'm all over the place. So no, they... Oh, I lost my damn train of thought because I was so stupid. So no, I wanted to be a dancer, but you had to be level 60. So I started off with Bard, and then became a Mechanist. And then for some reason, I never stopped being a Mechanist. I mean, I leveled up Dancer and Bard and all that. I level up every class up to the maximum. But I just never stopped being a Mechanist. Even though Mechanist is probably the worst of the ranges. The worst of the ranges. But no, I fell in love with the class. Apparently, it used to... Oh. Yeah, I think I will. I think I will, game. That's a pretty decent book in terms of skills. I don't use any of them, but still. You never know. Shoot, where was that? But yeah, I wish, because apparently Mechanist used to be more literally about the gunplay, because going back to another game, in Ragnarok Online, I used to play as Assassin because, of course, Assassin back in 2007. Rebel Logan was all about the assassin stealth, the secret kills, the cool aesthetics of the assassins at the time. But I then went to the Gunslinger class in Ragnarok. And I guess that's the reason why I kept with Mechanist, and even though it became a lot less about the gun itself and more about the various machines that you get, because it's I think it's supposed to take homage to FF6, was it? What character was that? I was able to use like mechanical stuff. I forget. I think it was based off of that. But apparently, like in Heaven's Word, when it first came out, it was more about the gunplay, because you had like ammo that you can change. It was a lot more complicated class back then, but I wish it was more like that nowadays. But I still fell in love with it because, I mean, I don't know, just guns themselves in general are pretty cool. I guess that's why I just became a Mechanist. Like, I have my favorite of each of the classes back in FF14. Like, for tank, Gunzerker. I mean, Warrior was cool too. Like I said before, getting on the topic of F14, for, you know, a lot of RPGs or classes, I was always the assassin, because of the aesthetics and, you know, what I thought assassins were back then. And that game gained an appreciation for the frontline warrior. And even though I still play more range now, I think, but the frontline warrior is still, aesthetics is still one of my favorite. But yeah, in FF14, my favorites for tank were Gunzerker, and I really like the warrior because of the aesthetic of it, and they're like self-sustained. But no, Gunzerker is where it was all about. So I main the Gunzerker when I play tank. And then, so yeah, Fizz Ranged was the mechanist. For the Mage Ranged, it used to be Black Mage, but as someone who practiced art for a long time, it went to the Pictomancer, even though the Pictomancer is not the same kind of Pictomancer it was in, it was FF6, like Rem? I forget the character's name. But yeah, they, because of that aesthetic, my main became Pictomancer. And then for Fizz Melee, ooh, that one kind of went back and forth. I had a really hard time finding it, but then it just became Monk because I like to punch. Punching things with big number and big boom makes Logan happy. It makes Logan have goosebumps. It makes his hair stand on end in a good way. And brings up that spine tingly sensation that gives me the good feelings. And it's just nice. And also it reminds me like of Tifa. In a way, Tifa has like always been like top Final Fantasy girl. So yeah, it had to be Monk. I mean, it could not be Monk. Even though technically, I should probably make mention of this when I do play In Memoriam, that apparently when I watched a video not too long ago about some like random obscure facts about Final Fantasy VII to fall asleep to, because I use that as a kind of like background noise or white noise. Apparently, Tifa was originally in the original OG FF7 was based off of a shooter wrestler, which was very big in Japan back then. It wasn't until later that she more mainlined the Monk aesthetic, even though she always had Monk inspirations, because a lot of her weapons were based off of classic Monk weapons, and Monks were able to use claws. I think some of her weapons were actually claws in the original. She couldn't use staves, which I think like original Monks were able to do in Final Fantasy. But yeah, that's the reason why I like had to go Monk, even though a lot of those Fizz melee classes were pretty strong, in my humble opinion, or pretty strong and pretty aesthetically pleasing. So you couldn't go wrong with that. And we gotta complete this thing because yeah, I'm like almost hour 40 minutes. Don't want to go too long because I gotta cut the video down with the FF7 right in the beginning. It's also getting hot. I want to put the fan on too. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's sweltering. The only thing I don't like about these headphones is they make you sweat. They're warm. Oh, it's a pure old book. Yes, there. Yes, sir. It doesn't have any increase in skills, but oh, you suck, Rune. It does increase fire damage on my weapon, though. And I find a gem that could be nice. Might be stupid, but I'm going to replace it. Oh gosh, I find out like I made mention before in my channel, is I do all the editing, art stuff and all that, with the exception of the commissions that I get, which we're trying to get more professional commissions on the channel. I forgot how taxing editing could be. That's why most streamers get their own separate editors. Because having to go through my previous Morning Quickie, I realized how stilted my speech is. I hate listening to it. and having to freaking go back and forth in my cuts, figure out, okay, do I cut here? Do I cut there? Do I want to cut before this syllable? Do I want to cut before this word? Does it make sense if I cut here? And I cut once, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, I need to cut here because it makes more sense. It makes it flow better. I'm like, oh, this sucks. Oh, I got a set cap. I hope it's a good one, because most sets suck until you get the full set. In fact, most sets suck in general. Most end builds don't use sets in general. With the exception, the reason why I like this mod is that they actually make a lot of sets, or they add new sets to make a set viable for end game builds. Because I thought the coolest thing to me as a kid, even kind of now, was the concept of having multiple armor pieces, when combined, giving you badass overpowered effects. And unfortunately, they're not really all overpowered in Diablo 2. But it's so cool. Not to mention, a lot of them have unique looks, and they unique sprites, and they give your character a unique look, which was really cool. I like the fact a lot about Diablo is how they armors actually reflect on how your character actually looks, which is such a nice detail. I miss old Blizzard so much. You guys were some of the peak in gaming back then. Why'd you have to do all this dumbass controversy, DEI hiring, all these fake ass reports of abuse? You suck so much balls, bro. Oh, I'm not gonna have the strength. Go Vit. Part of the mods, I get basically infinite respecs, so it doesn't matter if I like screw it up enough. I hate. You know what? No, it's not bad. It does force you to learn. Having like, hey, you make this build, you're kind of stuck with it, kind of thing. You may get like 1 or 2 chances depending on if they allow you to have a respec. But it's really nice to be able to test builds, and like, you mess up, you can go back and change it. And being able to change it regularly, because I believe in the Diablo 2 Resurrected, they do allow you to have infinite respecs, where you have to get certain items from like the end game bosses, which kind of sucks. But hey, I like the quality of life. That's one thing about modern games that I will take, is the quality of life, like infinite respecs. It's also one of the reasons why I don't like to play the original Ragnarok Online, because there really was no respects without having to pay freaking Gravity, which I would never give Gravity another dollar in my damn life. They suck so much as a company. You ruined Ragnarok Online. Thanks very much. And you're going after private servers, which keeps your game alive. Screw you, freaking Gravity. Piece of crap. Now, let's not talk about the original Gravity team. The original Gravity team was awesome. It's like they were bought out by, I forget who they were bought out by, but you screwed it up. You made it freaking pay to win. I'll never forgive you for that nonsense. It was such a nice, comfy game for me to come back to, too. God, pissers. You guys not make the same mistake. Make sure you identify so you get maximum. No, I want the resistance. I get maximum money. Poison length reduced is pretty nice. Yeah. I'll give that one to the mercenary. What are you? Eligible for... What the hell does Chronicle mean? What does that mean? Is that mod specific, or is that something they added to Resurrected? That's new. Infernal. Oh. 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 This is a new set. I don't remember this one. 10% to all resistances? 20% damage taken added to mana. And that's just one piece. What? It's insane. Huh. Very fast attack speed. That's really nice, though. Does it make sense to have, though? I don't know, because generally increased skills is very valuable. You know what? I know what to do. I know what to do. There's a reason why we have a second tab. And then you. Okay, so keep you, get rid of you, keep you, get rid of you, get rid of you. You, not gonna use you. Get rid of you guys. Only need those guys. Shift, right click. Okay. I'm looking for teleport. I'm not sure if teleport can actually roll on the short stats. Wand, that's Necromancer. No. Oh, I just can't use it. That's why that's red. Okay. Are you fun timing me? Freaking hate that nonsense. Come on now. I hate where you like just run out of freaking space. Okay, keep you. Okay. Up. I'm going to keep that mana potion though. Like having 4 extra of my potions, a little bit more of the health potions though. Get rid of you. Oh hell yeah, TJ. And welcome TJ Killer. Yeah, no, this is it's freaking nice. It's a nice little comfy game to play on the weekdays when I have off. And first playing Warlock. Oh hell yeah. So I'm having fun. But I'm also playing the Reimagined mods, which adds a whole bunch of extra stuff. But apparently what's the best builds is kind of the same as the vanilla right now. So you can't really go wrong with that.
I'll put that to good use.
Oh, good lord. And unfortunately, you kind of hit the end of the stream here. I am planning on playing a little bit later extra today.
Greetings.
Unfortunately, I got grown-up things to do, like going to the store and doctors and stuff, unfortunately. It's really nice to have like someone here. Freaking A, come on. There it is. Oh, shoot. Oh, this is Chronicle. What is this? Yeah, no, vanilla is still good though. Like I'll still hop on sometimes because trying to hit the season. Like I barely do season, but like I get that itch to just like race and try and get the 99 as fast as possible and see what anything like new they add. But yeah, for single player, I generally like to hit Reimagine just because all the extra crap they put in there, all the variants and builds you can do. But then this is, I'm not sure if this is new or if this is from Reimagined mod or is this on vanilla. Like something called Chronicle. I'm guessing that you're able to, because I know like if you get a set that you really like and kind of which blows is when you get to exceptional elite levels, you kind of have to give them up. I think there's a way to roll them up to exceptional elite, but I'm wondering if this is like a new way to do that. And rune words, or is that in the? So you don't have to remember them. Chronicle was introduced with the Warlock class. Is that like on patch notes or something? Or is it world like class specific? If that's cool, then besides just being a whole new class, that's really cool. That's a lot of extra stuff they put in here, which makes it even cool that they added this expansion. Well, I guess you can't really call it expansion, but Chronicle tracks every item a player has collected in the game. Each entry lists when and where the player first found the item, not class specific. So it's now okay. So it's not only available to Warlocks, but it's available to every class then. Okay, so if you want to get extras of it, then it allows you to find out the original place. That is such a cool feature. Cosmetic rewards for like Diablo 2 or is it like Diablo 4? Is that even in Diablo 4? Oh, 2. You can transmog? Was there always transmog in Diablo 2 Resurrected, or was that added with Chronicle? Pretty sure. I don't remember it. I could be wrong though. Well, I know that transmog was first in 3, but I'm like because I don't think 2 ever had it. Because I'm trying to remember from the original Lower to Destructions. I don't think 2 ever had it, but the 3, but and I'm not sure if Resurrected had it, or if they added it with Chronicle. You get some kind of cosmetic reward when you fill out. Oh. So you fill out a page, you get a cosmetic reward. Okay, when I first bought the freaking Warlock expansion, I was a little bummed. I have to say that yeah, I was a little bummed, but because of the price. But this kind of makes it a little bit more worth it, in my opinion, because that scratches the collection itch that I have. I kind of hate that it does it because it makes me want to play it more. God damn it. Hey, Mythic, I'm not sure if you saw that we actually got our first chatter. I think they went away because just stopped by to say how much I D2R. But it was cool. It was nice to actually have someone new to check them out. That's pretty cool. It was from Rumble too. Did not expect that. Name was TJ Killa. Shout out to TJ Killa. I'm pointing at you from the camera, but you can't see because my VTuber model doesn't have hand tracking. But I'm pointing to you. Shout out to you, buddy. I hope you have a good day. Once before I close the stream, if you're still here, or if you watch the VOD, just to let you know. Shout out to you. Speaking of which, okay. Yeah, I think we're called there for right now. Oh, nope, not be right back. There you go. And close this guy out. And go exit Diablo 2. All right, my VTuber. There we go. All right, for everyone who's still here, I have to go do adult things, shopping and cleaning and babysitting a little bit, so my sister can take a break, get some sleep because she works in the evenings as well. Then I'll probably play maybe a little Pal World, thinking maybe stream it, test it. Hopefully OBS doesn't crash with my brother Mythic Slayer there. TJ Killa, brother, thank you for stopping by, man. It's really nice to meet a new face. I love it. Thank you so much for stopping by. You're always welcome to come. I usually will most likely play Diablo 2 on Fridays. So if you want to catch me on Fridays at 9, as long as classes don't screw with me, because I do take university classes as well. So, oh, brother, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You know how much, you don't know how much it means to me. But yeah, if you want to come back, 9s on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then I go through my childhood games from the PS1 and Atari and all that on Saturdays at 2 and Sundays at 4. So we're right in the middle of the OG Final Fantasy VII if you're interested in that. If not, hey, whenever you want to stop by, I'll see you then, brother. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. But yeah, that'll be it for the stream. Any lurkers out there, non-shatters, hey, appreciate you. We're going to end it here today while I go do those adult things. And then, oh, dude, yeah, can't go wrong with classic PS1. We're going to go through all that. And then after Final Fantasy VII, yeah, catch you later, man. We're going to be playing the remakes just for comparison stakes. All right. So third time. I'll see you all later, guys. Have a good one. I'm going to go do all these things and then I'll come back, maybe play a little Power World, maybe jump back into D2. You'll catch a notice from me, or might do a little extra Final Fantasy VII. All right, guys. Have a good one. Have a great Friday. Try not to work too hard, and see you then.